This is your pregame for tonight's Nuggets game, tipping at 6:30. We have the great Nuggets coach, Doug Moe, talking about the role of luck in some of their greatness. And the man who makes Ball Arena dance looks at his lifelong connection to the team. Police video gives us a better idea what happened when an Avs star just disappeared from the team during the playoffs, the day that a highly distressed woman was found in his room. We get to the bottom of those green energy option flyers being sent to Xcel customers. And even Denver's saddest piece of infrastructure is feeling the Nuggets fever. Tonight on Next. 56 seasons and never before a moment like this. Denver Nuggets tip off in their first NBA Finals game in 30 minutes time. Nuggets Heat Game 1, Ball Arena at 6:30 p.m. conveniently scheduled right after this program. A lot of excited, very lucky fans getting into Ball for this. Now some news teams, they'd have 13 reporters out there at Ball Arena covering every angle, this, that, all the little things. Instead, what we're doing is we have the one journalist in town with decades of Nuggets knowledge crammed in his cranium. Tom Green, tell us a Nuggets story.
I got the feeling you just called me old.
No, not at all. Knowledgeable.
So
knowledgeable.
Thank you. Behind me, there's a young Serbian man warming up. In about 30 minutes, he is going to make history as a Denver Nugget playing in the NBA Finals. Of course, we're talking about Nikola Jokic. And the fact that he was the 41st player taken in the NBA draft of 2014 is such a story in itself, and that no one possibly could have seen it coming. It was luck that brought him here. Well, he's changing the Mount Rushmore of Denver Nuggets basketball. And one man who's already on my Mount Rushmore of Nuggets basketball is the Nuggets head coach for the days gone by, Doug Moe. And I asked him if the Nuggets were just lucky.
Thomas, if you don't have any luck, you ain't going anywhere. You got to get a little lucky. I mean, you can't... But it was a great pick. One of the things that amazes me, I don't know if you ever notice, whenever the other team has a chance to get up the floor quickly, every single time he turns around and sprints back. Now, he's not the fastest guy in the world, but he runs as hard as he can back defensively, which I found amazing because most big guys will take time off and stuff, but he adds that to the rest of his repertoire, which is ridiculous. I can see why they call him the Joker. He's a joke.
He's just amazing, and we're so lucky to have him, lucky being the key word, here in Colorado. He's just been marvelous, and what Doug was trying to point out there's more to the Joker than even most savvy basketball fans know. That effort, that intensity is a big part of what happens here, and it's going to be fascinating to see what he does tonight on the NBA's biggest stage, Kyle. Colorado's been waiting for this for a long time.
Absolutely, and what a special moment, I think, for the longtime Nuggets fans. I mean, Tom, you've covered sports here in town. There's great institutional knowledge, I think, among a lot of people, even folks who are newer to town, about the Broncos. You know, Broncos lore is just kind of steeped into Colorado. It's not the same, obviously, with the Rockies because they're an expansion franchise with a shorter time frame. Kind of the same thing with the Avs for when they came to town. They're easier to get a grasp on their years of operation. But for Nuggets fans who remember, you know, this team was great. You know, before the NBA days. And then they had, you know, that 10-year run when Doug Moe was playing some high-flying basketball here, fast-paced basketball. They were a fun team to watch. And then there were struggle years after that. And you wonder how many people in Ball Arena tonight have an appreciation for the full scope of Nuggets history, you know?
Well, you have the biggest difference being when the Broncos go to a Super Bowl, the Super Bowl is somewhere else, San Diego, Miami, New Orleans. But when you get the Stanley Cup or the World Series or now the NBA Finals here, it's here, and the fans get a chance to go see it and feel it. And boy, are they seeing it and feeling it tonight. This is going to be an exciting night and an exciting weekend and hopefully an exciting road to a championship.
Absolutely. Tom Green, you have no idea what you've saved us in terms of logistics of having to put 17 other people out there who know what you know. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Yeah, hey, let's real quick take a look at our exclusive Nuggets tip-off countdown clock. Again, only on Next. Countdown to tip-off.
Looks like we got a little over 26 minutes, a little less than that, maybe.
Thanks. The national TV cameras are going to show a lot of signs in and around Ball Arena today. There is one sign that the city of Denver is probably hoping is not featured on television, but here it is. Fix me, Denver, I'm broken. The pedestrian bridge at the end of Delgany Street near Ball Arena has been coming apart for 2 years. Its private owner is nowhere to be found. Neighbors are so fed up waiting for it to be fixed and reopened, they've decided to start a little public pressure campaign just as all eyes are on Denver. First, it was a sign saying, "Fix me, fix me, fix me, Denver." City inspectors took that sign down yesterday, so the neighbors put up a new one today. "Fix me, Denver, I'm broken." Sounds like the bridge is working through some stuff in public. To be fair, the neighbors also hung up a sign saying, "Go Nuggets," a smaller sheet, maybe like a pillowcase versus the queen set for the other one, but the "Go Nugs" is still there. The city is responding to the neighbors' concerns with the speedy urgency of a land tortoise, saying that they will look into what a repair would cost. We have learned some more about that strange incident involving Avalanche forward Valeri Nichushkin, where he just disappeared from the team during the playoffs. Police in Seattle came to the Avs team hotel where a woman was screaming about a bad man who had stolen her passport. Nichushkin was not there when police arrived. An off-duty Denver cop traveling with the team said, "Oh, nothing to see here." Steve Steger got the video.
As two Seattle police officers arrived at the team hotel on April 22nd, they walked up to an ambulance with a woman inside, obviously struggling with something. While one officer stays with her outside, the other heads inside to talk to the team physician, Bradley Changstrom. This is one of a few points where Seattle PD cuts the audio out.
That's a separate issue. He had a girl in his room.
Another cut.
We're trying to get her out of the room, and she's very clearly intoxicated. Very clearly, I could not send her just like in an Uber due to her safety.
Changstrom says he decided to call 911 to get EMS to take her away. The officer warns that she's being taken to the hospital but could be released to come back.
The person she was with is no longer here. Okay.
After a few minutes, Changstrom connects the cop with an off-duty Denver cop traveling with the team for security. Lieutenant Todd Fuller hands over his DPD business card.
Just so you know, my camera's recording. What occurred? Was there any crime? Any? Okay.
No, you saw my card, right? It was more of a detox issue.
Yeah.
Outside in the ambulance,
This person took my ID. I'm not bad.
the woman who says that she was born in Ukraine but is from Russia keeps talking about her ID.
You have your passport?
This person took my passport, everything. He put me here. It's not
Who
wrong.
did?
No, it's not wrong.
She's insistent a bad person stole it from her.
You should believe this person. He's crazy.
She just won't say who she's talking about.
Who were you at the hotel with?
This person very bad. He lie you. You can check camera.
The officers briefed about it,
She kept saying whoever she was with is a bad man and that he took her passport.
and before they clear the scene,
We just tried to get them in separate rooms.
Changstrom identifies the player as Val Nichushkin and drops a hint that something else is wrong.
Did I say something that would be confidential? Regarding his medical health?
That's where the tape cuts out again.
The team is sticking with their statement that Val left the team for the rest of the season for personal reasons, nothing more than that. I asked Seattle PD today if they're investigating any of the woman's claims about someone stealing her passport. They haven't gotten back to me yet, Kyle.
Some clarity at some point would be great. Steve, thank you. When you have an Xcel energy question, you hit us up. You can hit up Steve, you can hit up me, you can hit up Marshall, and that's cool. And we heard from Sue in Arvada, Kathy in Littleton, Tom, Federal Heights, heard from David, Jeanette, Adrian, and Aurora. They're among the 170,000 people who got a flyer in the mail that they thought was an Xcel pitch for solar. Marshall Zellinger tracked down the truth.
These mailers, sent to us by several viewers, sure do say Xcel in a bunch of places, but these are not from Xcel.
We are hired by the developers to do the outreach, the management, the customer support, the marketing efforts.
Cara Humphrey is an executive with Neighborhood Sun, a Maryland-based company that sent out these mailers trying to get people to sign up for a community solar farm in Sterling.
There's plenty of people that just can't participate or can't put solar on their house, or they're a renter. This is an option for folks where they don't have to spend a lot of money to or have equipment on their roof to participate.
For people who have solar panels on their home, they are either renting them or bought them with an upfront cost. They then get the full solar credit from Xcel. In this scenario, the customer signs up for the solar farm that someone else paid for, and in return, the customer gets a small portion of the credit.
Off the credits, 10% it represents the savings to the subscriber. 90% goes back to the owner of the solar farm for injecting renewable energy into the grid.
Here's an example Neighborhood Sun provided. Let's say your electric bill 1 month is $150 and you had $100 in solar credits. You would pay Xcel $50. But because your solar is from Neighborhood Sun, they get 90% of the credit, you get 10%. So of that $100 credit, you only get $10, and now you owe Neighborhood Sun $90.
So 90 plus 50 is 140 instead of the 150 that you would have paid to begin with.
So Sue in Arvada, Kathy in Littleton, Tom in Federal Heights, David, Jeanette, and Adrian in Aurora, these are legit mailers, just not from Xcel, but rather a community solar project. Of 170,000 mailers sent out, and that's just the mail, this particular solar farm can host about 5,000 customers. So that's fishing for just 3% to respond yes. Bottom line, this is legit, and it is not from Xcel.
But keep any questions coming, whether you're sure or not.
Absolutely.
Marshall will answer. Thank you, Marshall.
Every cloud has a silver lining. After all this rain, Colorado's drought is really easy. And the DJ for the Denver Nuggets got his start young. I mean, young.
Where they wanted to have a kid do the starting lineups for the team.
He's grown up with the team. Now he gets a front row seat to their historic run. That's next.
I don't know why I can't let go. Even if my heart says so, just look how far apart we've grown. We're like strangers.
Hi, I'm Steve Stager. Will you be an angel for a helpless bridge? Please call the number on your screen now to join the city of Denver and whoever is going to fix this thing with a monthly gift. The owner of this bridge along the Cherry Creek bike path abandoned it. Now it's in need of vital repairs. For a small monthly payment of thousands of dollars, you could breathe new life into a bridge that's been neglected for years.
I guess this is our last goodbye.
For the cost of several car payments a day, you can make sure people can walk across this creek, at least until the next time this thing breaks. If you call in the next 30 minutes, we'll include a rotting 2x4 from the current bridge as a gift for your support. Right now, there's a helpless bridge that needs you. Please call, especially if you're the one who owns the bridge. And thank you.
'Cause you're free to love again.
Nuggets tip off against the Heat tonight, game 1 of the finals. Got to check next exclusive countdown to tip-off clock.
That's 15 minutes.
The recent rain has our drought picture better than it has been in months around here. There's only one tiny little sliver of red in Baca County, the only part of Colorado still under extreme drought conditions. Sorry, Springfield. 76% of the state is in the clear right now. The rest of Colorado ranges from abnormally dry to some moderate drought out east. This time last year, look at that. Entire state was under some level of drought. Is there ever a point, Danielle Grant, where we don't say, we need the moisture? We're going to say it even if we're drought-free. We need the moisture.
We've had enough. We need to cancel Mother Nature. Yeah, we're good on the right. No, we will never say that, Kyle. We always need the moisture around here, especially because this is the high desert and we can dry out so quickly. And we can see those drought conditions return incredibly fast. Good news is here we are, the 1st of June, and looking ahead toward at least the first half of this month, it's going to be pretty soggy. We've been watching these thunderstorms throughout the afternoon. Nothing severe. That's a bit of good news. Just some really nice heavy downpours. Of course, having to deal with some lightning with this line of storms that just pushed east of Sterling, east of Akron. And as we zoom in here to the city downtown, A-OK, here is this one storm that I'm watching that will be impacting parts of Loveland as well as Fort Collins within the next couple of hours. By about 10, 11 o'clock, we'll still have a little bit of rain out there, especially on the west side of town. So if you're coming out of Ball Arena, coming out from all the parties and stuff downtown, you might find a few rain showers. It's a dry start to our Friday, at least here in the city. Not the case off to the northwest as the rain continues. And then by 2, 3 o'clock, storms will be bubbling up off to the northeastern plains, maybe even in Larimer and Boulder counties. And then late tomorrow night, that's when Denver will see our best chance for some storms, especially between about 9 and midnight. Chance for seeing severe weather tomorrow afternoon. That's going to be off to the east. Temperatures a bit cooler in the 70s for us, with 40s and 50s up in the mountains. Kind of a soggy weekend on our hands, and then looking ahead toward next week. Finally, the first dry day next Thursday with highs in the lower 80s.
Danielle, thanks. Less than 13 minutes remain.
He landed his dream job with the Nuggets as an 8-year-old. The Nuggets DJ is celebrating with a team that feels like family. Next.
Few of us will spend a lifetime with one employer anymore, but Austin Puelka has a shot at it. He's been with the Denver Nuggets since the age of 8. If you know the Nuggets, you know him as Pause the Music.
I've grown up in that building. I feel like I could throw a blindfold on and walk around Ball Arena and know exactly where every nook and cranny is. I'm Austin Puelka. I go by Pause or Pause the Music, and I'm the official DJ of the Denver Nuggets. I just turned 8, and my dad, Sean Martinez, was working in the game entertainment department, and they had a kids' night where they wanted to have a kid do the starting lineups for the team.
All right, Nuggets fans, on your feet. It's time to meet your Nuggets as 8-year-old Austin Puelka introduces your starting lineup.
And when I was really young, I was really shy, and I loved The Lion King, so whenever somebody would want to introduce themselves to me, I would growl at them. So I guess that was like my nervous tick. And when I did the starting lineups, I ended up just growling the whole time and kind of growling the starting lineups. And it stuck. And I ended up doing that for probably around 5 years. From there, I just kind of took a lot of oddball jobs, throwing t-shirts, wrapping cable. I was a ball boy for 2 seasons, and then I was a timeout coordinator with our game entertainment department, where I sat next to our PA announcer, and yeah, I did that for about 4 seasons while I was also growing my electronic music brand. And our DJ at the time decided to move on, and it kind of just fell into my hands. I'm really excited for tonight's warm-up mix, just because it's a song that I've used to pump myself up for a long time, and I know it pumps up a lot of people, so it's really exciting to kind of have that. I kind of got goosebumps thinking about, push and play on that song, just so people can be like, okay, it's time, finals, game 1.
Austin says being around professional athletes and coaches for so long has really helped him learn a one-step-at-a-time approach, and that's helped him reach some goals in his personal music career. All right, well, you had a little bit of feedback on that Save the Bridge thing. Maybe we'll check the clock one more time next. One last check of our Nuggets tip-off countdown clock.
5 minutes.
Text feedback tonight. You guys are off the charts funny, or I am pre-gaming too much, or both. Gretchen, love your show. Countdown clock. The Save the Bridge commercial makes my day. That's nice, Gretchen. Appreciate that. Chance says, all right, that bridge adoption ad made me cry laugh. Thank you for that. Also, can I have the 2x4? You have to donate to get the 2x4, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then a text. Next episode was one of the funniest yet. And like 13 people watched it. Go enjoy the Nuggets game. See you next time.